The Eheim 620 to 17 is here. I'm going to unpack it and set it up. It's my fourth Eheim. I'm a big fan of their classic filters. I've never tried their other pro filters, but this is a filter I already have, and I'm going to set one more up. So there we go. Eheim 600 is a filter I'm going to put on this tank. I already have an FX4 here, but FX4 has been declining in flow, and I've been doing a lot of water changes. This tank is also pretty stocked up, and I do want this one to get established, the media and stuff. I absolutely love Eheim filters because they really do a good job. And so let's open this one. As I said, this is my fourth. Instructions don't need hosing. Oopsie. Well, I'm doing everything with one hand. The quick connect. More stuff. Suction cups. I've done this so many times. So people are frustrated with these filters because another quick connect. They're frustrated because they don't self-start. Okay, I have to make a little break to pull it out from the box. These are the rubber feet that go on the bottom. They always fall off anyways, so not a big deal if they do. So the way Eheim works, or Eheim plastics, they have these little hatches which you open. So the bigger the filter is, the more latches it has. This one has 5, so it's 600. Oops. And just pull this up. So this is the part where your pump is. And another reason why I like them so much is because they're super quiet. And they come with all kinds of media. So now I'm going to show you the media. We're going to unpack the media. And I'm just going to use what came with it. It doesn't really need any modifications. The way Eheims work is this is the intake. The water comes in. It rises up. And this pump pulls it and returns it back to the aquarium. So basically, your ADA filters work the exactly same way, except they're more expensive and they have like a stainless housing. But technically, you know, it's a really great filter. So I am glad this one's not changed yet, because I see Eheim's making changes and sometimes not so great changes with their new designs. So let's go through the media. Okay, so when you open this, there is first this piece. It always needs to go this way. Basically, this creates the space for the pump to take the water. So you don't want to pack it like all the way up to the impeller, because then you can have issues. So this, just remember, like these little pointy parts go up. And then you get all kinds of media in here. You know how many times you buy a filter and then you have to like buy media. So, you know, I will not use this in the future, but this is what comes with Eheim. Eheim media is really expensive if you're buying their stuff, but you can just put anything inside. So this is their carbon filter top. Then they have a fine filter foam. Remember, water comes from the bottom up, so this is kind of like the last stage of filtration. Then they give you a huge bag of their really, really good biomedia, and this is why I like this filter. Like, you know, this amount of matrix will cost, gosh, I don't even want to know. Whoops. Sorry, my sink is dirty. Then you have like a coarse sponge. Then you have these types of rings. So that's also media. So these filters and more media. These filters do such a fantastic job at the biofiltration. Like, I started using them when I had goldfish. This is just a paper. You don't need that for sure. So like, I don't know why they even put that there. And then on the bottom you have the same grid. So when the water comes in, you know, the points go down, so it kind of creates a little space down there where, you know, like, I don't know, if you suck up shrimp and stuff, it will kind of live at the bottom there. So that's how it works. And you just put it all the way exactly how Eheim has it. All right, let's do that. So the first step is like the rings. So because it's all brand new media and it has no artificial bacteria living in it or anything like that, I like to rinse it. So I'm gonna just like dump it in the water. This is all much easier with two hands, but I guess it's a new practice for my brain to do things with one hand. Okay, so first the rings they give you. That goes on the bottom. I'm just gonna rinse them. Just a little rinse so that you don't get like any dust in your thing. I needed two hands to rinse that. So, and again, this goes back in with the points down. Remember, creates a little space in the bottom. You put that in, and then I'm gonna dump my rings. So what was next? The next thing they put in was this. So a sponge, a coarse sponge. So it's gonna go through the rings, and then it's gonna be caught like, you know, this is also this is all biomedia. That's why I absolutely love these filters. They're awesome. So again, I'm just gonna rinse it. I mean, nothing has bacteria in it. It's just a brand new filter, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so the sponge, I'm gonna put that there. And sometimes these rings don't go flat, so shake it to make it kind of flat. Come on. Try to make it flat so that everything fits really well. Okay, so there is that. Then the next thing is this biomedia, so I'm gonna rinse that. That is like a ton of media, and I swear for $180 to get a silent pump and all this media. I mean, what do you get in FX? You get nothing. You get like two little baggies or something and a bunch of freaking sponge. But Eheim gives you all this. They're classics for a reason. People keep buying them, and this is my fourth. I'm just gonna rinse that from all the, you know, dust and stuff. I just don't want that blowing in the tank. The tank is established, so, you know, I can just add this filter on, and it's going to create additional filtration. And then I can phase out my FX4 if it stops working. I mean, for now it works. It's just not as efficient as it used to be. And maybe I can fix that FX4. I have to disassemble and clean the hoses, which are never done. Maybe the hoses are the problem. Okay, so now I'm gonna rinse that, and then we're gonna dump that. I'm really dedicated to do this. I mean, when I got my first Eheim, I was so upset. I didn't know what I was doing. So anyways, this goes in. And their media is like really, really good media. Imagine what it would cost you to buy this much matrix. And then this dust, I'm not going to put that in. That's like the little debris pieces and stuff. Again, make it flat as much as possible. Then goes this like filter sponge. Now these Eheim ones are expensive, or you can just put like any piece of sponge when this gets dirty and used up. You know, you don't have to actually use their product. The classic, oh my gosh, I love these filters. You know, if I ever eliminate the FX4, I'm just gonna put another Eheim on. I love them. I love them for the price point being really low. So this filter is $180, much cheaper than like FX4. You can probably filter as much as FX4, if not more. I mean, biologically, you can do more than FX4. So then that sponge, and then they give you a little carbon integrated one, which I'm gonna use, but I will never buy this again. You can just put like carbon if you like carbon, or, you know, Purigen or something. So I'm just gonna rinse it. Put that on top. That's all the media there is. And then this goes back on. Now, I do not know if I have any Purigen. I don't have any Purigen ready to go. So I'm just gonna connect it exactly as the manufacturer has it. Rinse that. This goes up. So these little pointy things on top. And then we will put that later on. So now The next step is to connect all the tubing. Okay, so tubing for the 2217 Eheim 600, that's kind of the strongest classic. Well, there is one bigger one, but like for the most people what they buy. So the interesting thing about this Eheim, all the other ones only use this tubing. I don't know what it's called. There's like a 13, it says on it somewhere, 12/16, okay? So 12/16 is the outtake. So in all of the filters below 600, you're just gonna get this tubing for everything. But on a 600, they use two types of tubing. They use a thinner tubing for the water coming from the filter to your tank, and they use a thicker one for the water coming into the filter. So that's 1622. So those are good measurements if you ever need to buy like replacement tubing to know. So essentially with two types of tubing, thinner and thicker, you also have quick connects. The thicker quick connect is for the thicker hose, and the thinner is for the thinner hose. This is thicker, that's the intake. So this is what they will take the water, like the hose will connect here. The water will be picked up from the tank through that hose. It has this. This goes on the end, like that. Oops. And then this is what's the outtake. This is when water going into your tank. With all Eheim filters, you get this little spray bar. So if you want to have a spray bar, you would have to connect. You would have to connect here with like a little piece of tubing. You would just cut off a little piece of tubing to connect these two. And then they provide this little fella. So what you do with that is you basically close the end of your spray bar. You would like close it so that, you know, when the water goes out, it goes through these little holes, and then it doesn't really escape at the end. So that's what this little piece is for. That's to connect the ending of your spray bar. I'm not going to use spray bar on this tank. I don't need it. I don't want a whole lot of vegetation. I have enough. Okay, so then you have these little things. So again, two smaller ones will hold the smaller pipe, and the bigger ones for the bigger one, and then you just like have these guys and you like attach them to that. So those will just, that's how you're gonna hold it to your tank walls. And I can't do this with one hand, so I have to like actually connect that. Using both of my hands, I connected these little things. So this is the water coming into your filter, like strainer. It goes through the strainer, it goes up here, and then that's where you connect the thicker tube. So this thicker tube, and I'm gonna need two hands. You warm up this, and you just like, you know, push it on. Like I just need to warm it under warm water, this tip, and then you like just like put it on. It's very tight once it's on. And this is gonna be my outtake. It's gonna go like this in the tank. The water is gonna come out here. And for that one, I'm just gonna do the same thing with this guy. Warm it up and put it on. So here I turned on the hot water, and I'm just gonna try to make them a little bit more pliable. You know, hot water makes them more pliable. Now I know I'm kind of over explaining this, but you know, it's helpful for somebody who hasn't set up a lot of canister filters or is new to the hobby. I mean, most fish keepers know this kind of stuff with hot water and stuff. So now I'm feeling this is much softer here. When I push on it, I feel it's like it's soft. The hot water will do that. It will soften the hosing. Yeah. Okay, now let's connect that. Okay, I pushed with both hands, of course. Left one holding this, and then you like just push this when it's soft. You don't need to push like a lot, but just, you know, a little bit, like, I don't know, half an inch or so. If you put it on too much, it's going to be really hard to take in the future, like apart. But, you know, once it kind of hardens and cools down, This is really okay. So now you have your intake and outtake. So the first we're gonna connect the fat one, that's the intake, to this. So basically the other side of this thick hose, I'm just gonna connect to that. Same thing, I'm gonna warm up the hose and then I'm gonna push it on. You like push it on and then you like, there is this thing. See, it goes down when you go right. So basically once you kind of put it down as much as you can, then you just like tighten it by turning this to the left all the way until it's like really tight. So I'm gonna do that. So I put that one on. This thing moves left and right. It helps you like when you're doing water changes. I had to silicone this in a few of mine where like I had like a leak here, but you shouldn't have a leak on a new one. So now you have a hose. This is how the water will travel from your aquarium into your canister. It will go through this tube and go in. So now you need to make a cut on this to connect your quick connect. So the thicker quick connect fits the thicker tube. I'm just gonna make a cut kind of where I like it. I don't like this tube to be too long. I'm gonna make a cut like right here. And then I'm gonna connect this guy. So basically one in each side. So I'm gonna put that on. Okay, I made a cut. I need both hands for that. Basically, I just use this. I don't know what they are. It's from my garage. So anyways, the same thing. I'm gonna warm this up, connect it to this guy. It really doesn't matter which way you connect them, if you go like this or that. But you know, like try to be consistent so you know which way to turn the connect. So I'm just gonna go like this. I'm gonna go with the points down into that, and then the other side of the tubing here. So I connected that. On my cut, I installed, you know, this quick connect. So basically the quick connect, you just unscrew that and you have like this part that stays with your aquarium when you're changing water, your intake, and then this part you can take to your sink. And I love that pretty too much, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna close this so I can fill the canister with water. I'm gonna close it and okay, this way. So when it's in this position, this quick connect, the water can't come out, all right? So I'm going to fill the canister full to this line, because if you don't want to be sucking on the hose and being like frustrated with this filter, you need to fill everything up with water basically, and then it will just start. I mean, it's that easy. So I'm gonna fill it up to this line, and then, you know, as I fill it, I will also make sure that the water is in this hose all the way, and then I'll shut it. Like I'll first put the water in, let it run through here, then shut it so that, you know, the water comes all the way through here, so it's all full all the way up. So then the bottom of my filter is set. So my Eheim is now full of water. This is all full. I can show you, like if I go up, stop it. Okay, it's full all the way. This is full. It's important that all parts of the hose you fill up so that you don't have to suck on anything. And even though it's not a self-priming filter, it will just start, you'll see. Okay, so the same thing we did with connecting that hose, you're gonna connect the little guy. So this is the water coming back into the tank. Now this guy gets connected to the top of the filter. Oopsie. Sorry. Okay, so this is the top of the filter. It's gonna sit like this, and it has this little thing. So that's where the water is coming out of. And so the other side of this guy will get connected there. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Oops, like I did before. I'm gonna connect him here, and then I'm gonna cut this line, and I'm gonna put a quick connect so that, you know, when you're changing your, like cleaning your filter, you can just disconnect the hoses and take your filter to the sink. Okay, so let me work on it. So it's also important to know that you want these cuts to be straight. See, mine is not really straight, so I'm gonna straighten it so that, you know, you can go as much in as possible. I'm gonna straighten it, put it in, and then like when whatever you're tightening in these Eheim connections, you tighten by hand as much as it will go. Like you don't use the crazy force because you can break these quick connects really easy, and I have done that. So just, you know, like they are engineered to not leak for you if you're not like crazy pushing on them or anything. Like, you know, this goes over the top and then you like, this goes up, kind of holds that, catches that hose over this little notch and makes it really secure. I never had the problems with leaks there. If I did anything is when I was connecting and disconnecting my quick connect, I would like tighten this too much, and you don't need to. Like, you know, it should be relatively easy. You tighten, okay, it doesn't go anymore. That's good. That's a good connect. You wanna like open it up, you know. It works like that. If you're too rough to these, like you will be buying parts, and you know, it's all usage. Like it's engineered good enough. It's just like if you're tightening it crazy, this is plastic, you can break it. Everything's not connected. This is pretty dusty. I'm gonna rinse it, but maybe I can show you how to open an Eheim too. You will not need to do this till like the Eheim is older and you need to like clean the impeller. It has this little thing which you like go like this, and that lifts, and then you have this piece which you just pull like that, slides out, and that's where your impeller is. But we don't need to be doing any of that now. This is like when you're cleaning your impeller, you just put that back on and you put this on and you click it into place, which I'm doing all with one hand. So anyways, I'm gonna rinse this. I do see some dust. I don't know what that is. Or is it discoloration? I'm not sure. I like, you know, if you can rinse it, so then what you rinse doesn't go into your tank. Okay. And you know, when I was filling the water, don't need to use any prime, nothing. I mean, this is going on an established tank. Just tap water is fine. Okay, so I am going to now show you. I'm going to open this quick connect here. Okay, so this is the piece that goes into your aquarium. So we're just gonna deal with this top piece. Now this top piece, oopsie, spilling water all over your place. It's not easy being one-handed, let me tell you. Okay, so now this goes on top of here. And you know, you can put it in the direction you like. So I'm gonna put it like this because it's kind of like at the same location, you know, the bottom and the top one. Okay, but you can really, it doesn't matter, like it doesn't have like a numbers for these latches. Whichever way you put it, it's just so you can latch it is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna push. As I push, the water is gonna come out of here because this valve is open. And I want that because I want everything to be full as much as possible, including this little piece. So I don't have to, like, so that my Eheim starts with no effort. So I'm gonna push. Okay, so that's pretty much filled. Now I need to close it. Oh, come on. All right, these connects are brand new, so okay. So now this is closed. The water is maybe not all the way, but like it's missing a little bit. I mean, a little bit of air. I'm gonna latch it. Oops. You just push these in. 1, 2, 3. Come on, man. 4, 5. This one's kind of loose. Okay, no, it works. Okay, so now my Eheim is full of water. All the media is set up. This hose is full. This one is missing a little bit. I mean, I probably could have done it a little bit better had I not been doing everything with like one hand. And then there are these little things. You can put their little rubber feet. I tend to lose them as I move the filter around. I kind of lose them. But since it's new and I have all 4 feet, I'm just gonna pop them. You'll see like there's like a little piece in the bottom. Place in the bottom and just pop. Okay, that's my filter. It's all assembled. There is nothing else I need to assemble. I just need to put it on my tank. Now the important part of all this, like why am I making this video, is because I want to show you you don't have to be frustrated with the Eheims first starting up. So the goal is, first of all, to fill your canister as much as possible, including these hoses. Well, this one is empty, so I know that there is like some air there. And you know, no matter how well you try, you're gonna have a little bit of air, but Eheim is perfectly capable of expelling the extra air. You know, to start, it doesn't have to be 100% full, but if you get it like 95% full, you should be able, like the pump will just pick up and the air will come out. So I'm just gonna dry it, and then I'm gonna take it to my tank and find the spot where I can have it in my stand. It's important to know that both of these are closed. When it's like this, the water is not flowing. Both of them need to be closed. So once I'm gonna go find a place for it and situate it under my tank. So I kind of found a spot where I can, you know, keep my Eheim. I have freed its power cord, so all I need to do is plug it in once it's connected, of course. FX4 is here. It's still working. I'm gonna let it live here its life. I moved the CO2 a little bit. It's a little bottle, so it's not an issue. Plenty of space here. So both of these are closed, and so now we need to just get the hoses into the aquarium and quick connect them here. So the key for having Eheim start and not being frustrated is, I'll show you. So the key to have your Eheim start is to try and get this filled up with water as much as you possibly can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put water to run through here. So you feed it on this end, and that's feeding the hose. And you try to make that hose really full, and then you close that quick connect so that the hose stays full. Make sense? Okay, I need my other hand. So I was able to like fill it up halfway. I closed the other end, and I'm gonna just like try and fill up more of it like this. A little bit by a little bit, more and more. That water is too hot. So it's really important to get that hose to be full. And then your Eheim will start. Okay, that's as full as you can possibly get. Now I have my hose full of water. It's full of water, and I am kind of holding that shut. This side is shut by the quick connect. I'm gonna drop that. Okay, we are gonna feed that and connect. So first thing I'm gonna do is I will connect it here to the aquarium. And again, doing everything one-handed is like not really fun, but now the fish is really curious. What's going on? Well, you're getting your filter, guys. Okay, that's as low as you will go. And I don't have space on the other side to put it together with the, oopsie. Hey guys, don't be jumping. This is a demonstration. You want to be at your best behavior. Okay. All right, so now that is my water going back into the tank. Look, the water level is to here, so that's really good. That's really good. This hose is almost all full, and then you get your thing through, and so we now can connect that one to our outtake. Eheim does give you enough hose, so if you think that you don't have enough hose, it's plenty. You don't want, I mean, you can shorten the hose, but you don't want a longer hose because it's engineered to pump at a certain distance. So the way you connect your quick connect is you just kind of put them together. Oops. And then you like tighten this middle thing. So together and then tighten this. Oops. Okay. I did my second hand to do this. That's now tightened. It's closed on both sides. So this one controls the water from the canister. So the canister is all closed. The water can't go anywhere. And the tube that goes up is also full. The canister is as full as I can make it. So now we're going to connect the intake one. So same thing. We're going to try and fill it up with water as much as we can and connect it here. I had this perfect demonstration, and then when you know, I filled this up all the way, so the water level is right here, but it was up here. The problem I had, it wouldn't go through this little opening here on the side. This is a plywood cabinet and it's really tight, so it wouldn't go through here. And in order for me to make it go, I had to like move my connect straight so that I can like push it through. In the process, I splashed some water. Well, it's a clean water because it's dog, go away. Okay, you're cute, but go away. All right, mommy's doing a video. Mommy's showing people how to do stuff. You're cute, aren't you? Okay, so I spilled that water, and there isn't really that much water like it looks like. It's just plywood, so it's kind of looks, but I've lost about 5 inches of water from the tube, and so, you know, it looks worse than it is. But you shouldn't have this problem if you don't have this particular stand that has like those narrow openings there. So okay, so I connected, so this is the connection for the intake water coming into the, I'm gonna lift this up a little bit, try to find, and this hose looks like I have enough where I could shorten a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that, not right now. Okay, so the trick to getting the Eheim to start without having to suck on anything, just dry this up as much as I can. This is again plywood, so it looks worse than it is. There isn't that much water like it looks like. So yeah, I have some air. I have about this much of a tube that's empty for the intake. This guy is full. I'll move you a little bit. So then this is my handy dandy vet extension cord. All right, so now you have your Eheim, and with the connections closed, you plug it in. It's gonna start making some noise. Let's see. These polarized, I can't ever figure them out. Is it polarized or not? Is one bigger than the other? Can you tell? Are they the same? Looks like they're the same. So you're gonna plug in. See, it's working, but the water is not flowing. So the first thing you're gonna do is allow water to come in before you allow water to go out. Because if you allow water to go in, if you allow it first to go out, then you're just gonna pump everything out, and then after you do that, you will allow water to go out, and it started. It's immediately started. See? No frustration. The only problem was that this opening was too small for me. But you know, it's working, and it's actually quiet. Look, it doesn't even have to expel any air. That's how you set up an Eheim Classic. So this little circulation pump, I can probably get rid of it because now I'm getting circulation from the new filter. Yeah, that's gonna be a whole lot more filtration for this bunch, for this little bunch. Okay, I'm going to remove that little circulation pump. This one, don't need it anymore. All right. And the Eheim's working. Look, it's creating water agitation here. I'm gonna move this Rikia. Rikia, you need to find a new place now. Gonna move the Rikia a little bit. So all that biomedia we put in, you know, now we're getting all that additional biofiltration, water agitation, because the flow has reduced. I cannot fix it. I've tried everything. See, the flow from Eheim is far stronger than what is it doing from the fluval. That's why everything is now floating in the right direction. Oops. These big pieces of Rikia. Okay, so we're gonna let Rikia now be on this side, and this is creating really nice water agitation. I can get rid of my circulation pump. That was a temporary fix anyways. I'm gonna disconnect that. There's all kinds of stuff stuck to it. Yeah, so we're gonna remove that. Don't need that anymore. And I have agitation, I have water movement, I have additional biofiltration now, and everybody's gonna be really happy. So that's how you set up your Eheim filter, guys. I hope I saved you a lot of frustration. And all Eheim classics are exactly the same way. It doesn't matter which model. Just do what I showed you and you'll be fine. Thanks for watching.